topic today is this, the new English Utopia Orkan jacket, or Orkan as we say in Norwegian, which means hurricane. But before I start talking about this, I want to talk about the design inspirations behind it, these two. So let's go there first. Design inspiration 1, the classic Barbour Solway zipper. It was made from, I think, around 1950 up to 80s or so. This one's from the 1970s, I think. In decent condition. Like most of them, it was missing its belt. It's quite rare to find one with the belt intact these days. I think it's a bit like ballpoint pens. Somewhere there must be a huge stash of them. I'm working at colour matching this belt. It's a replica by Malin and Son, but we'll see how well I can get it to match. Now, the Solway zipper. As I mentioned, the belt. It's got the big bellows pockets down here, and it's got a front pocket here. Other than that, raglan shoulders. It's pretty straightforward, well, like most Barbours are really. What I like about this is just the silhouette and the colour. Now this one is very patinated. I bought it and it absolutely stank. If you've read the story of Old Riki on the blog, this one was almost as bad. Not nearly, almost, yeah, pretty much. But I gave it 2 rounds in a bucket of lukewarm water with some wool detergent in it, and that did remove the smell. Also removed probably every bit of wax that was on it, and I haven't had the heart to wax it again because I think it looks great now. But of course it's an old jacket and it is kind of coming apart a bit. All the buttons are really corroded, and I have a feeling it will tear if I'm a bit careless with it. So that was part of the inspiration. Could we make a modern day Solway zipper, retain much of what is good with it, and make a really good jacket? Because finding a good Solway zipper is tricky. I think this one cost me about £150, and missing the belt, it's sort of okay, but it was smelly, and you can pay up to say about £500 for a really good one, at which point you are moving into some new jacket territory. And is it worth paying that much for an old one? Collectors would say yes, the real wax cotton freaks would say yes. I thought, I want to see what we can do by making a new one. So that's the first piece of design inspiration, the silhouette, the big pockets, and let's move on to the next one. And here we have the second piece of design inspiration. Now, this is Belstaff motorcycle jacket. Belstaff make 2 versions of their motorcycle jacket. One is the Roadmaster, the other is the Trailmaster. The way to tell the difference is whether it has the skewed pocket. The Trailmaster is the one that has the interesting pocket. The Roadmaster has them just plain and the same. Now for me, this is what makes the jacket. I'm not that interested in motorcycle jackets in general, but that pocket, tilted at an angle, draws me right in. I don't know why, it's one of these irrational things. But it has similarities to the Solway zipper. We've got the big bellows pockets here, we've got a pocket up here, but we also have the second one. So it's 2 up, 2 down. And that is something I also wanted to bring further onto the next jacket. Other likenesses, again, super sturdy, heavy waxed cotton, not the sort of flimsy stuff you tend to find today, but the really thick stuff. Now this one still has a lot of wax in it. When I bought it, it had been freshly re-waxed, and I haven't worn it all that much, to be honest. It also has the corduroy collar, like the Solway zipper, or has, well, like most Barbours and others really have. So, oh yeah, another thing, this is also kind of an iconic jacket, so second-hand prices tend to be pretty high. You could easily pay £200 to £500 for a good Trailmaster, which again, that's quite a lot of money for an old jacket. Probably more than the first owner paid for it way back. So, with those two, let's see what we have. And here we have it, the English Utopia Orkan jacket. Now, a little bit about English Utopia first. It's a company, small company, based in York in the UK. It's run by Gary Newbold, who you may have heard on the Garmology podcast. He's on 2 episodes there. Very nice chap. He was the head of design at Barbour around the millennium. He's been making jackets for at least 30 years now. Does all the cutting himself. It's all sewn and assembled and made locally, and all from the best materials in the best way possible. Pretty ambitious, but I think he does well. So for this jacket, where did the design inspiration go? Well, we have the belt from both the Trailmaster and the Solway zipper. We have the big bellows pockets, also from both. We have the top pocket at an angle from the Trailmaster, and a second one. Notice how the angle has been made greater because I thought that looked better. Now, apart from that, well, it has a slightly old look to it, and that's the antiqued desert waxed cotton from Halley Stevenson. Most waxed cotton jackets today are 4 ounces, 6 ounces in weight. This is 12 ounces. This is heavyweight. This is the proper stuff. So that's all on the outside. We've got the trim details here in Loden wool from Switzerland. No, Austria. We've got the same on the arms. Now they can be worn folded up with the Loden wool showing, or taken down for when you want to get a bit of insulation on your knuckles. The intention here is to make a jacket that is usable, well, apart from high summer, most of the year. We'll get back to that in some detail. It's got all the patinated brass buttons and poppers, and a good throat tab. Also a removable hood with a quite massive peak, and part lining in Loden wool. Now, this was part of the thing. I said it can be used all year round. So that means there's also a liner in Loden wool. I'll show you that in a moment. And it also means that the lining is in L35 Ventile, made in Switzerland by Stotz. Natural means it's not treated in any way with any chemicals or anything. It's just chosen because it is a fantastic fabric. It wears very well, drapes very well, and breathes. So it will help the jacket to remain comfortable and not get damp. Now, part of the point here was to use the absolute best of everything. So the Halley Stevenson wax, best. Ventile lining, best. Loden, best. We can also have a look at the zip. Lots of jackets use YKK zips, which is fine. They're sort of the Volkswagen of zips. You can buy them anywhere, any application, but they're not best in any way. They're just okay. Now the zip on this is a size 10 brass Riri zip from Switzerland. They are notable in that they are hand polished before they're finished, so that the action is as good as possible. Nothing like a big solid brass zip. Now it's also a two-way zip, so you can unzip the jacket a bit from the bottom, say if you can sit down or whether it's suitable for comfort. It's very annoying when you have a long zip jacket and it's stuck at the bottom because you can't open it. So that's a thoughtful design. There's an internal pocket and heaps of ventile. So let's have a look at the lining. Okay. So what I've done now is button in the lining, which is removable. It's just 9 or so buttons, as we can see here, and here it is, a huge swathe of Austrian Himalaya Loden wool, which means it's windproof, it's warm, it can just be brushed off if it gets a bit dirty, and of course you can take it in and out as you like. It's a bit similar to the old Snap, Crackle and Pop Barbour acrylic lining, except that was pretty awful. It could be washed, but apart from that it was so full of static electricity that I imagine farmers in the 70s and 80s had their hair perpetually standing up. Shouldn't be a problem with this. Now, Loden wool is again sort of the best you can get, which means that all in all this jacket is probably state of the art for wax jackets. Also means that it's not going to be as cheap as a regular one. Now I think wax jackets these days about £350, £400 for something that is sort of a brand name. This one comes in at just a touch under 1300. That is for the best materials put properly together in the UK by people who care about what they do and are paid for what they do, and I think it's great. So I've taken it off the dummy and put it on another dummy. And let's see how it fits. This one has been made to my sizing. These are all made to order, so you can make it in the exact size you want with the arm length you want. See, the arms are the right length with the cuffs curved back, and when I cycle, which I do a lot, I just put them down and cover my knuckles and I'll be nice and warm. So there's a bit of ASMR, fantastic zip action for you there, and let's see if we can bring the belt in. Let's always hit a bit on my board. And here we go. I'll make a blog post of this as well with more photos, and you'll find some on Instagram. So this all feels very usable. Of course, it's not as light in weight as jackets with a lighter weight of wax cotton and less detailing, so it does feel very comprehensive. And there we go. I'll put some links in the comments, and let me know what you think. The English Utopia Orkan jacket.